Discussions in this show are for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer and member of FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and neither SmartPro Financial nor Bridgeway Wealth are affiliated. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Working Wealth Podcast. I'm Patrick Rogers, and I am thrilled to invite a good friend and a colleague and incredible financial advisor with SmartPro Financial here to join us today to talk about her background, some corporate experience, what it took to get into this business and be successful. And she's not going to talk about herself this way, but I will say she is incredibly successful as an advisor. And if you need an advisor, come work with her. I promise you. It's great.
I'm here and happy to help.
Anyway, so introducing a good friend, Katie Regal from Mooresville, North Carolina, drove all the way down to Greenville to join us today. So thanks for being here, Katie. And just tell us a little bit about yourself, just kind of start out, your family, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. This is exciting. Who am I? I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a financial advisor. And that's pretty much it. I shouldn't say that, but
there's so much more.
There's a lot.
Much more under the surface.
There's a lot there. I've been with SmartPro Financial coming up on 8 years, actually, almost since the very beginning.
When is that anniversary, just to clarify? Because you were a little bit before me, I think.
I passed my first exam January of 2018.
Okay, so you were 5 months ahead.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So
awesome.
I did the first two back to back, and then took a month and got the other one, and have been just running since then.
Yeah.
But leading up to running my own business, I actually spent about 12, 13 years working in international transportation and merchandising for large retailers.
Are we allowed to say names or?
I don't care. I started. Okay. I didn't know if you cared.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I just your comfortability.
Yeah, no. I started my career with Ashley Furniture. It's based in the little town that I'm from in western Wisconsin, and then moved to North Carolina. Lowe's moved me to North Carolina, and I spent almost a decade there. Spent about 12 weeks a year traveling internationally, sourcing product, working with ocean carriers and things like that. All of that work behind, you don't just walk into. You just remodeled your house, right? That tile that you put on the floor didn't just show up on the shelf. There's a lot of work behind that. And I
hope there's a lot of work.
There's a lot of work behind that.
The cost needs to prove there's some work behind that.
Yeah. So. And so that's a lot of the work that I did in sourcing that and, negotiating it and things like that. Okay. And just followed that corporate path because that's what my generation did. You went to college and then you got a job, like a corporate job, and climbed the ladder.
Yeah.
And you wanted to climb the ladder because that just meant you were successful, no matter how much it was not good for the rest of your life. And so I did that, and one day went into work and was one of those mass layoffs where half the department gets cut in 15 minutes. And it was like sprinting into a brick wall. And it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Go back. My husband and I were already on baby step 4, 5, and 6, or 4 and 6. We didn't have any children at the time, right? So we had our emergency fund. We were paying our mortgage off. We were, investing and all of that. And I was like, now what? And so the financial advisor that we had at the time, who we had met through Dave Ramsey, was like, I think you should come work with me. And I thought he was crazy. I was honored and flattered, but I thought he was insane. And he's like, no, I think...
That's Brian?
That's Brian.
Yeah,
Brian Wheeler. Yeah. Founder. One of the founders of SmartPro.
I have stories about my first conversations with him. We can talk about later, but yeah.
And so I went and got another corporate job and spent about 18 months there because I then had my first son. And 6 weeks into my maternity leave, they called and said, hey, Katie, we're moving the company to Milwaukee, and we want you to come with us. And they thought I would go because it's Wisconsin, and I'm from Wisconsin, and I'm like,
everyone from Wisconsin just wants to be in Wisconsin,
right? Yeah, but I left there a long time ago. Right? And I'm like, I'm not picking up this little family for this job I haven't even really had that long, essentially. So again, within 18 months, found myself unemployed from a corporate job. And Brian was like, no, I really want you to just come with me. Just shadow me on some client meetings and see how this goes. And I went with him on a couple of meetings and just sat there and really struggled holding my tongue. Because I'm like, oh, no, you should be doing this. And, why don't you look at it this way? And when we left, like, after the second meeting, he's like, you going to do this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Right.
And so then I just dove in, started studying, took my exams, and I tell clients all the time I haven't worked a day since. I love what I do. Numbers are my love language. I love helping people. And this is the perfect combination of those two things.
So there's so many nuggets that we could take 12 days talking about right here. And I think, like, maybe to summarize the things that I hear, because I know the punchline, I know the story, right? But I don't want to ruin that for everybody else. Thinking through just some key things you said there, which is like the standard path. Because you graduated college what year? I'm not trying to let's pause.
02.
Okay, 02.
Yeah.
So on the tail end of the tech bubble, the crash, all that stuff, kind of some doldrums in the market and the economy, going into the housing crash, all that stuff. But 02, the standard path for a generation is do everything, be everything to all people at all times, always, for all reasons, right? And then climb that corporate ladder. And the reality is, and I think this is part of, like, your story and also maybe some of that, I'll call it, like, lack of fulfillment once you get there, wherever there is you don't want to climb that ladder and realize it's on the wrong wall.
Yeah, the problem is there is no there.
Yeah.
Right? There is no end game. What's the end game? CEO of a Fortune 50 company? That happens to such a small, tiny percentage of people. And the grind that you put into, and it's a good fit for a lot of people, right? A lot of people build really great lives in corporate jobs. I mean, we need Walmart's successful for a reason, right? Lowe's, Home Depot, Meta, all these things. And they need people working these jobs. Not everybody needs to be working those jobs. And when you follow the path of, I guess, least resistance, because you just do what's next.
Yeah, right.
And then you realize that you're 33 years old and coming home and crying every day because you've just been holding this stress ball in all day, and you're not in the right environment that fits who you are and what you want to accomplish out of life. And if you're somebody who strives and needs that, I've got to win, right? That's inside of me. And a lot of people say, oh, you have that because you were in this corporate structure. No, that's who I was at age, like,
causation
6.
correlation.
Right.
Yeah, it's
like,
very different.
That's who I was at 6 and 8. And I have this gene inside of me that's like, this is going to sound so arrogant, and that's not my intention, but there's nothing I can't do.
Yeah.
If I want to do something, I can do it.
Right.
If I will invest myself. If it's something I'm passionate about, if it's something I want to accomplish, I will. And when you work in a corporate structure with that mindset, you either are going to be that person that climbs really quickly, or you're going to be that person that's like, I gotta go. This isn't for me.
Right.
And I would have never peeled off had I not been forced to.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell people all the time when they lose a job or, something like that happens, I'm like, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, what? Like, it's chaos.
For the most part, it's probably pushing you off the ledge. You never had the confidence and faith to jump off yourself.
Or took the time.
Yeah.
Like, not nobody, but I never took the time to analyze who I wanted to be or what I wanted to be. I moved cross country at age 25 by myself, not knowing anybody, right? because I wanted a job that I would travel the world. And so that's what I did. Well, then I was traveling the world with people that I worked with. And I've seen amazing things, and I've been to amazing countries, and I've hiked the Great Wall of China, and I've, been to a Turkish bath, and, like all of these things. But I was still just coming home and being incredibly frustrated with 90% of my days. But would never have done anything about it because this is what life is.
Yeah.
And I look back and there's no reason that I should have thought that because I am surrounded by entrepreneurs in my family and growing up. It just was nothing that ever kind of clicked for me.
I think it's interesting is you talked at the beginning about like who you are, mom, wife, business owner. But I think like realistically, everything you just said is who you are.
Yeah. Fair.
and I'm glad we got there because I wanted to go there anyway.
Okay, good.
It's like, yeah, the things you do, yes, that is part of your identity. But like who you are in your core, like you're someone who achieves. You're someone who doesn't give up. You're someone who is willing to forge a new path and push through and drive 100 miles an hour, not to get hit by that wall and stop at the wall, but to go through the wall, right?
Right.
And I think we're cut from the same cloth in that regard is, I love breaking systems. And
yes, I know you do.
It's really, really fun, But to me, like, it's very interesting. So your brick wall, metaphorically, was like put in front of you. For me and Haley, it was very much like in the corporate structure we were in as several companies. It's just like there was no runway to the wall. Everything was just walls around you. Like you had no freedom. So we had to jet out.
Yeah.
Like we had to take that path to make an exit on our own accord because there was just like you couldn't even like look up like as a brick box to keep using that metaphor. But take that and so now where you are today, you said ever since you started this business, you really haven't felt like you've worked. So talk more about that.
Yeah, don't misinterpret that implies.
Yeah, to clarify, this is one of the hardest career paths, in my opinion, on the face of the planet because you're dealing with people and you're dealing with money and every circumstance is out of your control. But that's also why, in my opinion, it's the most rewarding.
Yeah, and you're helping, right? And you're putting good out there. And so when I decided, or I shouldn't say I decided, but when Brian came to me the second time after I had, the second company I was working for had moved, there was a lot of prayer, right? There was a lot of long nights with Eric and I up talking about what does this look like for our family? Because at that point, I had a 1-year-old, right? 18 months maybe, not even. He wasn't even 18 months when I passed my first exam. We're used to living on, I went from a six...
We can talk about numbers.
I went from a six-figure plus job
here,
to making $0.
Yeah.
Right? And we knew it would be $0 for a long time. And were we willing to make that sacrifice to follow a passion, right? And not a passion that I had dreamt about for a long time, a passion that had kind of been put in front of me because of other things that have happened. And I'm the top believer that everything happens for a reason, right? I can look back at any instance in my life and tell you like these 6 things that led up to that. But when we're analyzing, do we make this huge leap and have 70% of our household income totally go away with an 18-month-old and a mortgage? Do we do that? And so, and we did. And we took $5,000 and we put it in a separate checking account. And we said, we're going to do this and we're going to run with this. And we're going to go until this savings account or this checking account is down to 0. And that checking account got down to $63. $63. And then things like, and that was about 2 years in. Because I was taking every dollar I had and reinvesting it into this business. buying more territories, right? Getting better software, investing into people to help me. Because when you're growing, like when you're growing any business, there's that grind, right? And you're putting every blood, sweat, tear into that to just get it off the ground. And that's why I call it, like, and everyone says, well, your business. Well, this isn't my business. This is our business. Like, I personally wouldn't be sitting here with you had it not been for the sacrifices of Eric and Davis, even though we didn't know it at the time, right? And
he still contributed.
Yeah. That's where we wanted to grow to. And we were willing to make that sacrifice for 3 years or until that money was gone. And God just kept making it happen. I remember when we were like going to McDonald's was like a big deal. Like we did it like once a month, and it was like the only eating out we could afford at that time as we're building through this. But God just kept showing up. Like there was one day a $400 check showed up in the mail because they had taken like too much out of our escrow account to like pay our homeowner's insurance. Like the insurance was, the mortgage company paid the insurance. They overpaid it. So the interest or the insurance company sent us $400 back in a check that we wouldn't have gotten any other way, right?
Yeah,
that then was huge for us at that point. And so we knew that we just had to keep building and growing and pushing because we were also doing good. We're not, I used to say this a lot when I was at Lowe's, like, we're making widgets, right? Like, does anyone want the low-cost hammer? Yeah, they do want it. Do they need it? Does my life need to be dedicated to somebody having 4 different levels of hammers to be, picking from? Not my life's work, right? Not what I was meant to do.
Right.
I needed to do something more and put something better out there.
I have a similar story of like my first job out of college was I was working for a golf cart company.
Okay.
And literally 4 days into my job out of school, the project I was assigned to got canceled by the CEO of the parent company. And the project was trying to make the best brand new, newfangled gas golf cart that's quieter and more efficient and all that kind of stuff. Project gets canceled for 6 weeks, no assignment. And then we finally got assigned to a project that ultimately was canceled a year later. And then on my 4th version of this project, I left the company. And there's our story kind of starts there in this business. But I had that same feeling was like, I don't even like golf.
Yeah.
And I'm here.
Now everyone owns a golf cart.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't.
I own a golf cart that I bought on Facebook for like $2,000. But to that point is like, it was that lack of fulfillment. Right. And I grew up like it's kind of similar as my father was an entrepreneur. He worked as a pharmacist for other big chains for years and then bought his own pharmacy, ran that for 14 years, I think, before he sold it. But I remember Dad saying all the time was if you do what you enjoy or if you love your work, you never work a day in your life. Right. Just like you said a few moments ago. And I think that kind of carried through with me in my career path and it still does in the same way as you talk about is I wasn't fulfilled. Which work, I don't think, like, spiritually should be your fulfillment, right?
No, but it should align.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, and it should align with the goals of the rest of your life. Like, your job should not drive your life. Your job is there to support your life.
Right.
You need a job for income to support what you want out of your life. And that was a big decision or a big topic of discussion when Eric and I were deciding to do this was, what do I want out of my life? I was 37 years old with an 18-month-old and said, what do I want? My mom was at everything I did when I was little. There was never a question if she was going to be at the baseball game or if she was going to, show up to volleyball tryouts or she was there. And I didn't realize that that's what I wanted, right? Like, I didn't realize how much of a staple that was in my life until I thought about what my life as a mom would look like. And I'm like, well, I can't work a corporate 8 to 5 traveling 12 weeks a year and show up for everything for my kids. I don't want to have to like ask off to take my kid to the doctor, right? I don't want to see if it's okay if somebody else is okay with me going and having lunch with them at school one day. Like, no. Like, these are my children. This is my life. And I wanted the flexibility of that. And the only way that I could get the flexibility was to be an entrepreneur and to then grind when I needed to grind and take the time when I wanted or could take the time and the flexibility that comes with that.
Yeah. And now you have that.
Oh, in spades.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably more than is healthy for me, to be honest with you.
But you're also still working hard. You haven't
my business shifted.
Slowed down and quit. Like you're being more, and from my perception, more specific, more intentional, strategic in a way around how you do that.
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, I decided to stop working in my business and start working on my business. Because those first 4-5 years, you've got to get it to a level that's sustainable to pay your bills, for the business, pay your bills, keep the lights on at home, keep these now 2 babies fed, live a life, right, and all of that. So I did that, and then I was like, I can't sustain this. I can't keep working 60 plus. I mean, my calendar was open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 5 days a week, 8 a.m. to noon on Saturdays for years, right? And I would have to physically go in and say, okay, well, there's this baseball game here, so nobody could book a meeting.
Right.
And that just wasn't sustainable anymore. But I knew that it would take me 3 to 4 years to build up that base, to be comfortable, to live the life we were living prior to leaving the corporate world. Yeah, and then I forgot where I was going with that. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So from there, maybe tell us a little bit about like how that actually looks with the business, like shifting from being in the business to being on the business. What does that practically look like? Yeah,
so I and I don't know who's listening to this and what they know about, our industry.
There's actually 17 billion people listening to this right now.
That's good to know. Now I'm
Everyone
afraid
in the
again.
world 3 times is going to listen to this.
I was working I was working 7 territories, which means areas that Dave Ramsey defines as people that need help. And you put in your zip code and, you're looking for a SmartVestor Pro. I was working 7 of those at my height. And that constant pace and that growing was not sustainable. But I knew that I needed my business to continue to grow. But I also wanted to be impacting more people than just I could sit in front of. So I started growing my team and started looking at other processes outside of just me sitting down one-on-one with a client and having them say, hey, Katie, I like you. I like this plan. Let's move forward. So I kind of went up to like the 50,000 foot and looked down, and it was like a ball of yarn. It wasn't like a ball of yarn, but it was more chaos than I'm comfortable with it being because I was just sprinting.
Right. Which you had, and in a way, I don't want to gloss over that. Whenever you're starting a business, like we talk about this all the time, you can't start a business on a spreadsheet.
Oh, no.
You have to be willing to run through the walls, to make things happen, to move obstacles, to lift up the world and throw it over your left shoulder.
Yes.
To make that progress.
So we live on be brave, breathe life, and leave normal behind.
Yeah.
Right? Normal is broke. Everyone is broke, right? They're carrying way too much debt and everything like that. And we had moved through that. We didn't talk about that, but we had already worked through that. And you have to be brave, and you have to jump, and you have to have faith in God and in yourself that you can rely on you to take care of yours. And so to be brave is a huge part of that. And just getting up every morning when you don't want to to do something maybe you love to do, but you just don't want to, but you get up anyway and you do it because there's bigger things in front of you. And so that's what I did for 4 years. I just got up and did and pushed. And then at that 4-year mark, I'm like, this can be better. This is really good, right? These last 4 years, this is really good. This is a great place. People could stop now. A lot of people in our industry as financial advisors hit a number of assets under management and they stop. Provides a nice income for their family, provides a nice life. And they're taking, they're fine. But that's not why I do this. I do this to help people, to make this world better, to eliminate debt as much as possible. I don't know how people sleep at night. Like, I have a mortgage. If I had a credit card, I would never sleep. I just wouldn't. Like, that, the anxiety that comes with that impacts your life in such a negative way that people don't even realize. But so pushing that. And so when I'm looking at my business and how do I work on it and how do I make it better to impact more people on a positive. So I've got 3 advisors on my team now. I have 2 admins. I have a caller. I have an incredible network of colleagues. And we foster what we do. It's so special what we have. And that may sound silly from the outside, but I think they're like you and I and so many other people that we work with have been through that path that we just talked about, that we're never going to do that again.
No.
Never. Like, I'm never going to go to work and have like the Sunday scaries. Never again in my life.
Right.
I'm not ever doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to do that. I don't want people to have fear in their life and move forward into something that just makes them more upset. Like when you can live in financial freedom, the peace that it brings to everything is immeasurable. And I want that for everyone. And that means something different for everyone. So by adding these people on my team, making my processes better, building those people out and putting the right people in the right place and surrounding yourself with the right people, whether it's people you work with every day, like my admin team, right? That is, no, you can't have them. They're the best. And they're never leaving.
It's okay. I got some great
No,
admins
I know
now.
you do. I know you do.
Well, we're going to have a little in-the-ring brawl between our admins now. So.
But like, you're only as successful as your weakest link.
Yeah.
Right?
Which, I'm going to take that just real quick and interrupt you. What I found in my business, the weakest link was always me.
Yes.
And not saying I was actually weak. It was my perception of how things were and my willingness to accept the reality of where they were and then do the hard work of changing.
Well, and letting things go.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Because it used to be, well, it's Katie's way or it's no way.
Right.
Because why would it be any other way than
it's your
the way
business.
that I would do it, right?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
why would it be any other way?
Right.
But when you find those right people to surround yourself and support yourself with the trust that's built, and I mean, my clients don't even come to me anymore. Like, I remember when my admin started 3 years ago, I had this one client, he came to me, he goes, I don't know who this Kenzie person is, but I pay you and I'm coming to you. And this is a client I've loved and have had forever. And he didn't have the malice in that. He was just like, no, my relationship's with you and I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
He doesn't even call me anymore.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have talked to him,
Yeah.
right? Because like
It's
my
not
clients
that-
are my friends now, but it's now
not that
like,
you don't want to.
yes.
But they can move quicker on their situation by going through the team that you have curated and crafted and built culture and plugged into.
yes.
Like Haley and I had this conversation literally yesterday. I have a family member who's a client, and Haley said that she talked to this family member and said, just call Renee.
yeah.
Because Renee's going to get it taken care of quicker than Patrick. Because Patrick gets 400 emails a day and 13 voicemails. Like, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not really. Like, there's so much communication we get that's why we have to have the team to be able to have that growing impact, right?
Well, and I find it's very important to draw that line, though, too. Like, I've got friends and family that are clients, right? They get the same email from my team on, hey, Katie's mom, it's time to set up your annual review. Katie would like to talk to you, right? They flow in the same process as everything else because it's very important to me that you're talking to Katie Regal, investment advisor, or you're talking to your cousin, your daughter, your friend, your whoever, right? Those are two entirely different things. And I want to be sure that I'm drawing that line for them.
Yeah.
Because also they're going to get better service following
the system.
The processes, the systems that we've established.
Yeah. That's something that I tell people. I know a lot of advisors are kind of wary about working with friends and family, which I think is the dumbest, most backward thing. If you don't believe you're the best advisor for your friends and family, maybe you shouldn't be in the business.
Right.
But in that case, like I tell people when I sit down for the first time is, hey, we have a relationship outside of here. Everything we talk about here is here.
Yep.
If I see you in public, I'm not going to go and ask you about your budget. Because number one, if I see you at the gym, I'm there to be at the gym.
Yeah.
Like I'm not there to work at 6:15 in the morning, or I see you at church or like at school or whatever. Like I think you have to have that division and allow the system to actually work on both sides so that it can be successful for everyone. Because if you're always on and you're not rested, you can't actually provide good advice when you need to be on.
Well, and it also builds that trust with those people because money is a really hard thing to talk about. Right? So if you're sitting down with a friend and you're talking about money, that's not something that most people are comfortable with doing. So those walls, like my husband doesn't even know the clients that are our friends until they tell him. Yeah. Oh, hey, I saw Katie last night. Really? Katie was working last night. And then he goes, oh, and they need to know that I'm not going to go home and be like, hey, this couple's got this much debt and they're doing this and why are they traveling here and why are they, because
that's an immediate violation of the entire trust.
Yes. Yeah. Not only of that client, but also in general what we do, but then also that's not healthy for my marriage either.
Right.
So that's just where we've continued to grow and make those processes better and make sure people understand them. And now they've been reciprocated, not only to other advisors that we work with, but like advisors on my team. And I've been able to then invest into my team more that's 3 new advisors in the last 3 years that are now helping hundreds of people. And then they're going to grow their team and they're changing their life and generational wealth building for them and their clients. And it's like, if we can just keep growing at this pace and impacting and eliminating debt across this country and building financial freedom for people and not have Social Security be something that people expect to rely on because they're not going to be able to.
Right.
That's what gets me up every day.
So let's talk about the other advisors on your team. So I think you really have in the past couple of years really started creating a powerhouse unit within Smart Pro.
Oh,
so I know you got some family that has joined the business, which I think is great. I love that. But talk about what that has been like to. I mean, you had a successful business, well established, rocking and rolling, and now you see the capacity wall. Right. And I've been there too, is like, oh my goodness, I have so many families. I don't even have time to think about everyone's situation. So now you have to bring more people into the ecosystem, bring them into the system to have that continually growing impact.
Right.
So how many advisors do you have? And then what does that look like to help someone get started from ground zero?
Oof.
And that's a long discussion.
But it is. But you have, especially when you have the battle scars. Right. And I have 3 advisors on my team, 2 of which are family members who saw what I was doing and the positive impact it made on me as an individual and my family and wanted to break out of that corporate confines themselves. And then the third advisor on my team is just somebody local that was looking for a great firm and found us. And I'm so blessed to have the three of them. But I am, and not only in starting your business here, but in life in general, I'm probably the most transparent person that you've ever met. Now, I'm not like gossipy and I don't talk a lot, besides today, I guess. Right. But I'm the quiet dedicated one in the space. Back. Like I'm the extroverted introvert.
Yeah.
Right? When I'm in my safe place with my safe people. But I will tell you exactly how things are. I'm not going to make them fluffy. I'm not going to try and sell you on anything. Like, this is hard. It's simple, but it's hard. You are selling a product. You are building a relationship. You are being a therapist. And you are building a financial future. And if you don't do any one of those four things correctly, they're not going to work with you, or you're going to screw somebody's future up. Like, this isn't my retirement and my future that I'm building. I retire people every day. I'm not going to just retire myself. Like, I'm not building this business to be financially viable to then retire when I'm 62. I have people retiring every day and are living on the advice that I'm giving them. Right? Like, I'm impacting hundreds of people's futures, thousands of people's futures. So when somebody comes to me and says, hey, Katie, I want to be a financial advisor. I want to do what you do. I want to help people. Awesome. I love that. I want that for you. Where are you in your own financial journey? Do you have debt? Yes? No. You're not starting a business on debt. You need to be financially viable yourself. Do you have an emergency fund? What does your cash situation look like for you to be able to invest into this business and continue to grow? What are you and your family willing to sacrifice? If you're married, what does your spouse think about this? They have to be on board. This is a team sport, right? There is not an advisor that we have at SmartPro that is a successful advisor that is in this for the long haul that their spouse isn't all in. Right? So those are conversations. And I'm also like completely transparent of, listen, you're not pulling an income out of this business for years. They're like, what? I'm not going to be profitable? I'm like, you're going to make money. It's just going to go right back into your business to grow it faster and to grow it bigger.
Yeah.
So don't plan on pulling an income.
I find it interesting how many people want to be in the business and want to be like where we are in the business.
Oh, the overnight successes that we are? Sorry.
But, that's an old one. But like they want to be there, but they're not. They don't understand the reality of the sacrifice. Like, you've had massive sacrifice. I mean, you spent basically a year and a half in bed sick, still growing a business.
9 months. But yeah.
Well, I consider like
his
everything.
name is Harrison now.
Well, but there's other things. But like,
no, there is.
But like,
yes.
Like you have that. We've done now. I think now it's 50 to 60% pay cuts. The first 6 years of our marriage, like our first one was 120 something down to 58. Like we've just done that so many times. It's kind of old hat. Like it is what it is,
Yeah.
But like most people wanting to get in the industry, they're looking for some kind of stability. They're looking for some kind of on-ramp, right? They're looking for like I got a buddy that went to another large local on every corner firm because they offered a salary. Like, and it was like based on his prior salary at his last corporate job before he got laid off. And I'll admit, it's good numbers, right? But now we talk and
but so short-sighted.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of those things where like people do expect to get that profit right out the gate, like actually starting the business, being a producer, when we wouldn't be where we are. We wouldn't have the knowledge and the tenacity and the persistence if we weren't willing to lean into the suck and take punches right out the gate.
Yeah, be brave.
I was assaulted in someone's home one time.
I remember that.
In the midst of COVID.
Yeah.
Like what the heck? You know what that did? That taught me a lot of things, right? And I think it's interesting. The people that want to like produce and sell that don't understand the value of that like 3-year climb.
Everything that's worth it is hard,
right?
Everything that's worth it is hard.
Right.
I want to be where I am too. You know, like if I'm sitting on the side and I'm looking at me and I'm looking at you and I'm looking at the other people on the leadership team at Smart Pro and I'm like, man, that's a pretty good gig, right? Yeah, it absolutely is. But you got to look at the rest of that iceberg.
Yes.
And the sacrifice and the hours and the money and the tight budgets and the, you know, the time that I didn't.
$63 in the bank account.
The $63 in the bank. The like crying baby.
Yeah.
At 2:30, not to like overshare, but there was just one time I was probably, I think it's right when, so I was probably a little over a year in, and I found out that I was pregnant with Harrison. Then I was then sick in bed for 9 months. And Davis had woken up with like a fever at like 2:30 in the morning, and him and I are both like in the rocking chair in his room just crying. Because you're at that point where it's like, I just can't. I can't one more thing.
Yeah.
But then the alarm goes off and you think about what you're doing for the day and you think about those people that you're sitting in front of and you're thinking about why you're doing this.
Right.
I'm not doing this for the 2.5-year-old that has the fever that's crying, right? I'm doing it for that same kid who's now 9 on a
9.
travel baseball team with the stupid baseball lifestyle, you know, like all of
the weird haircuts and the funny socks.
The long hair with the shaves on, you know, all of that.
$10,000 worth of gear at 9 years old.
Well, we're not that bad. We're not that bad. No. But
some people though.
But that's because I want that for him. I want that for me.
Right.
And I have put those years in. We have put those years in to build something that can now justify and provide the life that we want to live while we know that we're still doing good onto other people.
Yeah.
I'm not stealing from somebody to pay my bills, right? I'm not, and that's one thing that, and this is like a tangent, and I'm sorry, but like
it's fine.
Our industry has such a horrible reputation.
Yeah.
Right?
I will openly tell prospects I hate financial advisors.
Yeah,
because
I love Smart Pro advisors. I hate a financial advisor.
Exactly.
I
know some good ones out there, but like the whole like perspective, is true in a lot of cases.
There's not a movie out there. There's not a TV show out there that has a financial advisor in it that isn't a negative. To it.
There's an idea. We could do that.
You're gonna build a.
We could
you want to write a movie?
We could make a good one. Yeah, we'll make a good one. The Good Advisor.
The Good Advisor.
but back on. I mean, like, so I think the kind of the theme that I'm hearing you say, and I love this. I'm gonna steal this and compound this. Is like, it's all about impact.
Oh.
100%. And that's actually like my office here in Greenville. We created a vision statement earlier this year, which is, we want to become the resource for personalized financial planning services, helping 10,000 families steward their wealth for impact and influence. I do not care about the income. Like, income is income. It's how do we help people succeed? How do we show them a better way? How do we show them what it's like to live financially free and actually have peace of mind and not have cortisol running through their veins all day, every single day?
Well, and it's interesting. I had a conversation yesterday. 10,000. That's a good. I love that number.
Yeah. You know why?
Did you pick a number out of the sky like I would do?
No. It was like 1,000. Okay. Right.
Oh, well, you're probably already there.
I mean, total.
Your team is
Well, with
the Greenville office is.
The Greenville office is definitely at 1,000 families. Yeah. But it was like for my personal, like me down, like my book of business and beyond, 10,000 forces me to become a better leader and a better advisor, to bring on the right people, to be able to expand and compound that impact. I can't not do it alone. The number really should be 100,000.
I mean, it should just be.
But it has to force us to continue to grow in our competence, in our skill, in our leadership, in our perspectives, to be able to do the right things in faith, which I think is the underlying root of all these things we're talking about, like in faith, that we're actually driving for better stewardship, to have that impact.
Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, Yeah, I could get off on that track for way too long, but
No, but I was talking to another advisor on our leadership committee yesterday, and we were talking about 2026 goals and things like that. And when you're building, right, you always have this what we call AUM goal, right? How many assets under management do we have, which equates to what we get paid. And you have to do that if you're going to grow, right? You have to pay your bills, like we talked about earlier.
yeah.
And now, not only, and we were talking about working on your business, I need to be sure that I'm taking care of myself.
Yeah.
Like, what do I love about this business? Like, I know I love helping people, right? And I've spent the last 2 years helping other people grow their business and making my business more efficient and all of that. But I haven't been impacting new individuals as much as I want to. So my goals for 2026 and diving back into my business is about that dopamine hit for me because I need that. To be the best Katie, I need to be helping new people. I need to know that the 26-year-old that I met with on Monday is going to have unlimited future because he now has a plan and can do whatever he wants to do as long as he can continue to execute this plan.
Right.
I need that. Because if I don't have that, like, not my self-esteem, but my value that I give myself drops. And then I'm no good for anyone.
Yeah.
And so taking care of myself in my business and knowing why I got it, what kept me going in the first place, and not motivated. It doesn't keep me motivated. That's
Motivation is BS.
yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page with that.
100% on the same page.
But like, I need to feel good about what I'm doing, and so I need to I may do some math on a number,
Yeah.
on number of clients, and go from that because that's what brings me joy.
Yeah.
And joy in what I do and who I surround myself with is like a top priority.
Yeah. And I think so two things on that. Part of it is like you have to be good yourself.
Yep.
And that's one of my 2026 things is I'm not going to call it a goal. I'm just going to say like a lifestyle shift, right? Is I have to take more time away so I can be present with my family. And that also, there's so little.
Yeah.
I love them so much. Some days are hard.
Every
Today
day
brought
hard.
to you by 20 minutes of sleep. So
it doesn't get easier. It just gets different.
Yeah, that's that is encouraging
Yeah.
in some weird slant way. But no, it's like to me it's it's not just getting away. It's getting away to be a better husband, better father, to actually invest the time that I should be investing in my faith and in my relationships and all those things. But it's also like if I do that, take the time away intentionally, it forces me to be a better leader, to delegate, to communicate better, to have the bebetter systems in place and all those things. And I actually had this conversation earlier this week with maybe the same advisor you're talking about, where he said, man, I was looking at the numbers and I see your business and everybody else's business and yours just went this way and everybody else kind of went that way. He said, what did you do? And I said, I didn't quit.
Yep.
Everybody else slowed down. Everybody else took a pause. Everybody else stopped. For me, it was like the purpose and the passion, the vision, the mission, the impact in my mind at the time felt like I couldn't slow down. And now I think I have a more mature perspective of we can actually take this and do this if I slow down, step away, and focus on empowering the right people to do the right things.
Yeah, because
so it's getting the same goal, but it's
yeah, because technically you and I are like this.
Yep.
We're even.
Yeah.
But that's because I have my team.
Right.
Me individually is not to the level you are from a volume perspective.
Right.
But that's because we took those different paths.
Right.
Right. And you continued to push, which I admire you for doing that. I'm in a different life space than you are.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one reason I love this company so much and love what we do is that we don't all have to follow the same path.
Right.
We're under this Smart Pro umbrella, which I'm so thankful for and have zero intention of ever going away from, right?
Yeah, right.
But this is my business, and you have yours, and everyone else has theirs, and you run them how you want to.
Right.
And then you learn, oh, Katie and I are even, but she's got 3 people on her team, right? Or I'm like, man, I really wish I had the assets that, Patrick had. Or there's one advisor on our team that's light years ahead of all of us, right?
Yeah, right.
And I love that for him. And would I like to be at that level someday? Absolutely, I would. I am not willing to sacrifice different things in my life like he is or did at a certain point, right?
Yeah.
If another advisor, him and I started at the exact same time, and his business is larger than mine is. His wife stays at home with their 2 to 4 kids that they've had in the last years, and I'm the mom.
And that's a very different thing for me. Was we intentionally waited to have kids for a period of time, and that gave me runway.
Yep.
Right. Haley focused. She was at work. She was supporting. She was doing a lot of hard work, and then
Paying the bills.
Literally paying the bills. And then we got to a point where, okay, she could stop doing that and work with me, right? And then from there, a lot of life and challenges and everything. But yeah, it's everyone has a different path. But I think maybe as we kind of start to come to a close here that is the beauty of this, especially at Smart Pro. Like, we're very different than any other company in the industry. We don't have minimums. We don't have experience requirements. Really, all we have is, I would say, like a passion and culture requirement.
Culture's number one.
Culture's everything.
I can't believe it just came up now.
Yeah,
that's our number one.
So here's the line. We could talk about this on another episode, another day.
Good. Does that mean I get invited back?
Yeah, 100%. We haven't brought guests back yet, but we will be bringing guests back. But yeah, so like the culture side is like, if you're hungry, humble, and smart, and you're willing to lean in and do the hard work. Like, do the hard work.
Yep.
Man, build it however you want to build it, and you'll be successful. Like, if you're trying to steward it well and honor God and help people, I don't think you can fail.
No.
Because and I was going to say this earlier, but I'll bring it back now. Like, even the commentary about success that you started with, like the corporate ladder success, like, I'm going to do what everybody else does, and I'm going to go up and be successful. What is that?
Yeah.
Like, success is so personal. And how you define that is personal. But I think there is a universal truth of, if you're having a greater impact in the world and leaving things better than you found them, I think we can all agree that is some kind of success.
Absolutely.
And that's the beauty of Smart Pro, right? And the beauty of the advisors and the structure and the leadership we have is everybody has that same, like, equitable opportunity to achieve.
We can all win.
Right.
I'm not going to lose because you win.
Right.
We're all going to win.
Yeah. It's not a zero-sum game.
No.
Yeah.
No. There are how many billions of people, right?
Yeah.
That we can be helping. This is not a competition. This is, what is the saying? High tides raise all ships, or something like that.
Yeah. The rising tide raises all ships.
Yes, okay, thank you. I'm horrible at quotes and all
fine.
of that.
Yeah, we'll get Josh back in here to talk about lizard tails and shovels and grandmas in church and all his Joshisms. You know?
I'm writing a book on that.
Right. But so I guess just as we wrap up, if you had any like parting thoughts or words for anyone that is considering getting into the business, or is maybe reevaluating like who they work with in terms of advisory services. Like, what are the things you would say about Smart Pro and the opportunity and the company that we have here?
I think you just summed it up perfectly, that this is what you want it to be, right? So find the freedom in that. If you're feeling stuck in anything, if you're going to work and being completely miserable, if you're having those Sunday scaries, take some time to reflect on who you are today, but who you want to be, and don't just be comfortable in what you've always done. And then I'm going to go back to like our guiding principles of be brave, take the jump, breathe life, help breathing life into everybody in your life, right? And we're breathing life into these clients, and leave normal behind. Like, who wants to be normal? Who wants to be like chained down with debt? Really take some ownership into who you are, and be sure you only get one life. Be sure you're living the one you want.
I'd say be sure you're living the one you're called to.
Oh. You're more probably called than I am.
Yeah, that's okay. No, I really appreciate that, and I think that there is so much opportunity, and I mean
Unlimited.
we're trying to grow because there are so many people who need help. Like you walk by people every single day in the grocery store that are probably scared out of their mind. They might have $10 in the bank and might have $10 million in the bank, and the reality is everybody's in a different spot. But everybody needs someone they can trust, and everybody needs someone they can talk to and listen to, and have that like confidant to help them make good decisions going forward.
Well, and that's another really important thing about Smart Pro, is because when you reach out to a Smart Pro advisor, you're not getting lumped into, you're a 40-year-old married couple and living in Greenville. Okay, this is your plan. That is not how we work at all.
Right.
We want to build a plan, and I say this to clients all the time. I'm not building a couple for our plan for a married couple in Greenville. I'm building a plan for Patrick and Haley, because Patrick and Haley have different goals than even your best friends or your siblings or whoever. So let's build a plan for your future. Let's not build a plan generically because you're at some income or some age.
Yeah.
Because retirement's not an age. It's a number.
Right.
And it's not all about retirement. There's a lot of other investing that you do in your life than just retirement investing.
Yeah, non-financial investing.
Yeah, but even some financial investing, right? There are steps that we help clients with that are financial that are not retirement-based, right? What's your budget? What's your debt snowball look like? How much should you have in an emergency fund? Do you want to buy a home in X number of years? Are you investing for your children's future? And that doesn't just mean college, right? What do you want to give to them? What does your generational wealth look like? Are you living and giving what you want? How important is giving for you?
Yeah.
We come from a place of abundance, right? We're trying to build the biggest, most successful portfolio for every single client out there, because the more assets you have, the more positive you can do into the world. This isn't scarcity and taking care of myself and holding on to what this is and just building just enough to like get me to slide into that coffin. This is building your financial future so you can then impact others' financial futures, whether you're doing it as an advisor or you're doing it as a client that then's giving 30% of your income away to your favorite charity or your church or your whatever it is. That's the expansion we're talking about.
Yeah. It's a fun ride.
It is.
We're excited to be on it.
I wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah. Well, there's so much opportunity out there. There really is. We can't speak about that enough.
Yep.
So I guess just as we close here, for anybody who is interested in finding out what it's like to be a Smart Pro advisor and join the team or see if it's a good fit, reach out to us on our website, smartprofinancial.com. We have a great inquiry form to put in some details, and we'd love to help you guys out on that journey as an advisor or also as a client.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Just real quick as a close, where can people find you specifically? How can they get in touch with you?
Smartprofinancial.com. There's an advisor page. You can click on Katie Regal there. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at InvestmentHood.
Okay.
Email me, call me. All that information is on the website.
Perfect.
I don't know the office phone number.
Oh, that's okay. Who uses phones anymore?
Okay, good.
No, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Katie.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll definitely do this again and dive in deeper and enjoy your drive back.
Awesome.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll catch you next time. Discussions in this show are for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer and member of FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and neither SmartPro Financial nor Bridgeway Wealth are affiliated.